Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Talking Watches with Rich Buddy on the Rich Buddy Live Show. Welcome. Thank you for joining, everybody on Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, and everywhere else. And hello and welcome to everybody. We got Clyve backstage, so I'm going to bring him on real quick. And just wanted to talk a little bit about the Rolex Hulk and maybe the new Submariner design. I took a good peek at it last night. And I got a Hulk watch story to tell you guys. That's kind of interesting. And and let's see. And I'm sorry for the channel being out of format. I'm kind of in some of the I'm in pretty bad shape, and I just don't want to. It's hard for me to format everything. And man, I had a really nice idea with my talking watches, and all the episodes were numbered. And I want to do the collector's corner as well as really button up on and do the radio podcasts, but I'm just not well. So I promise, one of these days I'm gonna get better or recompose myself and reboot the channel, and it'll be just like it's supposed to be. But instead of scrambled, it'll be unscrambled with a chef and a saucier. All right, without further ado, and I did send a link to Thomas and Blue Shirt and Bud. Blue Shirt, I don't have my cell phone next to me to text you to let you know I'm on, so otherwise I would. All right, here's the Rancher. Thank you, Rancher, for joining.
I texted Blue Shirt the link.
Okay, thank you. So, all right, we are live, and as a reminder to everybody, including the guests, we're in 1080p now, and usually YouTube and StreamYard as a guest will default you to 720, so you got to change your settings.
Yeah.
And hey, so check this out. I'll find a better avatar picture, but that's my new FP Journe that's on order. Amazing. You know what? I didn't know that they made. I mean, I did realize it over the last week or so, but they make a moon. We know they make a moon date version of that watch, but they also make just a date window version. But it's so peculiar where they just randomly stick the date and change everything. I hate it when they do that. They take a watch. There's a perfect design. There's only one design it could possibly be, which is this one here. And then they try to make several references from this one.
Well, on one side, it actually shows that they're a very competent watchmaker because that they can move the complication around all over the place because they got mad skills. On the negative side, it's just like, so then they created a bunch of references that aren't as desirable as the original one.
I don't know if they're not as desirable, but for me, I prefer the no holes in the case. No holes in the dial, a level field, no apertures when you're buying a dial, as opposed to buying complications in the case of a watch like this. Hey, check this out. So my Hulk, this is kind of odd and crazy and weird and wonderful at the same time. So you guys know I bought my Rolex Hulk Submariner date in March of 2017. Okay.
Right.
And so in November, in later that year, about 5 months later, after I've owned the watch and paid for the watch, about 5 months later, I'm wearing it to the Aquarium of the Pacific here in Long Beach with my family. Mm-hmm. And they have these concrete walls that are rough, almost like a sandstone, but not sandstone. It's like a raw concrete that's rough, holes in it. It's very porous is what it is. And wouldn't you know it, I'm in line there and I swing my arm and I drag it against that porous rock wall. Wow. You know, my 5-month-old Hulk. What did it do? Well, I've said this before on my show. This is one of the problems with the ceramic bezel Rolexes. I don't know how other watches stack up to abuse, but there's an inner steel ring between the sapphire glass and the ceramic bezel. So if you have a Submariner now and you look at it, you'll see that there's a very thin ring that separates the sapphire glass and the bezel. That ring, I can't express to you how delicate that ring is. I mean, you can blow on it and the damn thing's going to crinkle. So the bezel was immaculate after running against the wall. Nothing happened. I didn't touch any of the case. You look at the watch and you just see wrinkles around the edge in that little strip for about, I don't remember how much it was, but it was significant enough to warrant the watch being done and having to go in back to the AD and Rolex, So here we go.
So here's a hint, guys. Here's a tip. Don't do that.
Yeah, guard your watch. Don't be aware of your surroundings, I guess would be the best point from that. But here's what's funny and neat and really crazy and interesting at the same time. So I go to my Rolex AD, take the watch, and I tell him, look, man, got to get it fixed. He says, yeah, I see the problem here. Okay. Did you purchase the extra care warranty plan, which covers all cosmetics and everything? And I said, nah, man. I mean, what's that plan run? Like $700? I mean, is that going to roughly cost how much it would cost to fix this anyway? He's like, no, I think anything you take to Rolex is going to cost more than that. So he, what we did is I actually didn't know what he did. Look, at that time, I'm looking at the date, and I'm not sure exactly what I was thinking, but basically what he did is he refunded me. Okay, he backed out the sale and redid the sale with the warranty. That's what he did. So now I gave him $741 for the cosmetic warranty for the watch, right?
Right.
So now my damaged watch is under the AD's additional cuddly warranty. Ooh. So he did me a favor. He finagled. He's the manager. The manager did this. So nobody did any tricks here. This is the manager. He pulled strings. I'm a Rolex VIP wearing mother effer. So he pulled some strings and he said, you know what, we're going to take care of you. Just pay for the warranty, $740, and we'll do it under the corporate warranty or whatever, the store warranty. Okay, great. So I gave him the watch, the whole kit and caboodle, box, card, everything. 2 months later, I get a call back. Come pick up your watch. I go pick up my watch. I come home and I put my watch away for about a year. No, I put my watch away from 2014, 15, 16. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. That watch is a 2017 watch. Is that what I said? So yeah. March 2017. So I got that watch and I put it away for all this time, for at least a couple of years, what have you. I didn't pull it out until recently when you guys see me pull out the Hulk, and I got the Oyster Flex for it.
Right.
So, which was earlier, basically this year, I guess, maybe something like that. Maybe last year sometime. So that watch has been put away, never touched. It went to, he said it has to go to Rolex. So I'm kind of breaking up the story here a little. He told me, I asked him what would happen to the watch. He said the watch has to go to Rolex. We don't have watchmakers at our company. So anything that has to be done.
Okay. But they sell, okay. They don't have watchmakers, but they sell a warranty. That strikes me as.
Yeah, they don't. The warranty covers like it going back to Rolex and me not having to pay anything. So he's told me the only thing we can do here, the only thing that our jeweler, we don't have a watchmaker. Ben Bridge only has jewelers. We don't have watchmakers. The only thing our jeweler is allowed to do is size up down bracelets, missing, links, things like that. Only basic shit. Anything else, absolutely, man. We're a high-end company. Everything goes to Rolex, man. Okay, so it's going to Rolex. That's what he explained to me. Okay, well, obviously, where else is going to go? So I went to Rolex. So I go back to pick it up in November, a couple of months later. I don't remember if it was 2 or 3 months later. I go to pick it up in November. Open the watch, look at it. It's good. Put it in my safe. Don't touch it. Now I'm wearing it again. No big deal. We're living life. Right. Well, here's what happens. I'm on the Discord a couple of nights ago, and one of the guys wants me to look at my Hulk card. So I go grab my Hulk card to describe something to him. I don't remember what it was, to be honest, what he wanted me to see on the card. Okay. I pull out the card, and the first thing I notice is, well, it says November 2017. And I'm like, oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. It doesn't. The first thing I notice is that I don't have my signature on the card. Sorry, I'm in a lot of pain. So I'm trying to get through this. That's why I came on here to deal with this pain. My signature's not on there. I always sign my cards. My name was printed on there. Well, and then I'm looking and I'm like, well, okay, maybe I don't remember not signing it when I bought the watch, because the date on the card says March 2017. It doesn't have a new date. Right. In November, it says March, but my signature is not there. It's printed by him. So I said, well, maybe I just don't remember, Okay. And then, I remember what's happening. So you guys know I took apart my Rolex Hulk bracelet and it fell apart because of the glide lock. So I have to have a watchmaker put the bracelet back. So my idea was, if my watch is still under that warranty, how long is that warranty? When does it expire? I wonder if it would help me out here and help me get my watch put together, because the watchmaker up the street wanted $200 to put my clasp back together. Right. And so I pulled out the receipts looking for that, and I found the receipts, and luckily, yeah, I'm still 3 months in that cosmetic warranty. I opened up the brochures. It says, whatever, if you mess up the watch, it's not covered. So I don't think it's covered, but fine. But in looking at the receipts, I had the receipt for the warranty, and it was with the fresh watch. And then I had the old receipt of the first purchase. And I'm looking at them, and they have the serial number in extra large font and in bold print on the typed receipts. And they just jumped out at me. The fucking serial numbers are different. What? I look at everything I'm looking at, man. He sent my watch into Rolex. They kept it. They sent me a brand new Hulk. And on my warranty card, he wrote my name on it, but he dated it March 2017 from the original purchase. He didn't give it the fresh date, even though the watch was fresh. And I've got, and I checked my serial number. My serial number is the serial number on the new watch. Right. It's not the serial number I have on my old insurance paperwork, on the old receipt. That watch is gone, baby. They sent that watch off and gave me a brand new Rolex 6 months later. Unbelievable, huh? And so when I called him about something else, because I ordered the Tiffany dial 41 millimeter OP for my wife. So I ordered that from him yesterday, and he said that'll be here probably just before Christmas, because they haven't put an order in for those yet. And they'll be putting an order in for those, and it takes a few months for them to come in. So I asked him about that. And he said, oh, man, he says, what do you think, man? He says, we're going to give you your old he said, what do you think, man? I sent that to Rolex and they sent you a new watch, man. You know, that's what I was like, you know, I go, yeah, obviously it's here in front of me. It's obviously, but I go, man, I told him, I go, you guys are crazy. You guys actually, he says, it wasn't, he says whoever handles that returns, and whoever handles it with the Rolex representative that they deal with, that's what they decided to do for you. I'm like, fuck. Wow. Man, you're the man, dude. And I go, you handled that transaction too? I go, yeah, I handled your transaction. I sold you that Hulk in 2017. He says, I'm your family. I said, hell yeah, bro. So I'm getting that Tiffany dial. I'm getting that Tiffany dial OP in 41M. My wife, I showed it to her and I said, is that a Rolex you'd like to have? That Tiffany dial? I think that might be one you'd like. She said, yeah, as long as it's a big faced watch. Your turn. I'm going to vape for a while.
Cool story, brah.
Your turn. I'm going to vape for a while.
Well, what the hell am I supposed to talk about? The whole topic was your watch and how your watch was handled by your AD in a way that you liked, the way that you approved of.
Okay.
My response is to say, cool story, brah.
Cool. Okay. So, okay. Have you looked at the new Submariner and specifically the crown guards and how little they protrude and how little the crown actually sinks into the crown guard for protection? Have you seen that?
I have not specifically noticed it. No.
You know, let me. You
want to put a picture up?
I do. I'll pull a picture up, and I think it's really cool topic for us to look at because I really looked at it for a while last night. Where did we post that? Let me see where we posted that. Where did we post that? Oh man, these guys post so much stuff in the
right.
Okay. Here's a picture here. Share screen. Not the whole set that I was looking for, but for the sake of time, I found one. Okay. Now I realize that the one on the right might be unscrewed a tad because it looks like they stopped the time on both the watches to keep them exactly the same time and everything. But they should have screwed the bezel in or made them equal. It looks like it's not all screwed in all the way. But even if it was, it looks like there's a significant difference between the covering, the protection, and not. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, or could just be. It might just even be the angle, though.
I feel like just aesthetically, for it looks better with the larger crown guards. It looks like the bezel is more sitting on a plate, not too overbearing on the case. I don't know. I like the polished crown guards. What's your opinion on the loss of the crown guards?
Truthfully, unless you like rub it up against an unfinished concrete wall, I think you should be fine. Now, those are the types of people that should worry about the lack of crown guards.
Right. Well, as a diver, the more crown guard, the better, right? As like how a Panerai has a complete cage over there.
Speaking of, you heard what happened to Matt Stevens, right?
No, I don't know. I don't any travel in the same circles. What happened? Is he okay?
Well, he's got the new Omega 300M, right?
Okay.
So he decided, I'm going to take it out in the ocean. Huge tide came and slammed into a sandbar, and apparently the spring bar got damaged, and he lost his watch.
Whoa. Well, you know, that's a bad story for Omega.
It is. Now, personally, but he first wore it really over to Thailand. So I don't have any concrete evidence, but I think Austin Daniels must have screwed with his watch. Probably a fit of lover's rage.
You know, there's something to say to that. Okay. I firmly believe if you're going to be taking a watch into an environment, an unrecoverable environment as a sea, ocean, or lake or river, then you should not be the person, unless you know exactly what you're doing, you should not be the person making any bracelet changes or adjustments to that watch because you're going to lose it. So I've designated my sub date as my new old ocean watch, and it's going to stay on the bracelet. I'm never going to adjust it, put it on an Oyster Flex, nothing. And when I'm in the ocean, I can rest assured I'm not going to lose my sub. Yeah. All those other watches that I've put on the rubber bees myself, you know, I'm comfortable with going with those in the pool, but not in the ocean. Right. I know it might sound crazy. You're going to tell me, hey, the spring bars are in there like they would be with any other bracelet. I understand that. I understand the technicalities of that, the function, but you're not going to convince me otherwise. I'm only going to take original OEM into the ocean. I ain't taking no chances. Do you know how many Rolexes are in the bottom of the ocean? Probably just as many as were produced.
Well, classic ones, yes. Current ones, hell no.
They're like lost Bitcoin. Well, my cousin is he's an electrician now, but he used to be a diver and he used to clean boats.
Mm-hmm.
And he's told me over his 5-6 year career doing that, he's had half a dozen people pay him to get his Rolex from the bottom of the marina. How he never asked how it got there, but he said 3 or 4 times he's done that, and he's only charged him like $50, man. And he never knew what the value of the watch was. Once he saw my collection, I got into watches. He's like, man, I'm such an idiot. I should have charged them at least $100.
Yep, exactly.
He said they took such advantage of me. But yeah. So anyway, and then this picture really shows the okay, let's point this out to the punters too. Look at the bracelet and look how much wider the bracelet is on the new watch here. It's significantly larger. It's wider by 1 millimeter. They went from 20 to 21. Is that what the old one was 20? Clyvers? I think it was 20. So I think it went from 20 to 21. And so you can see how much wider it is. You know,
the watch is a little bit wider. Yeah. I mean, and they also did that when I think they upgraded the deep sea, I think, as well.
Uh-huh.
Made it a little bit more balanced.
Yeah. And it isn't that they trimmed the lugs down from the old ones on the left. It isn't that they trimmed the lugs down as so much the bracelet increase makes it look less makes it look like they trimmed it down, but I don't know if they trimmed it down. Is it just the bracelet going wider that makes it look trimmed down, or did they actually trim it down? I mean, you'd have to measure that with some calipers there to see if there's a difference, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And Watches and Giggles agrees, only 1 millimeter, but it shows.
Yeah, so is there more than a 1 millimeter difference?
But it also makes it look a little bit more balanced, I think.
I think you're correct when you look at just that section of the watch, but then when you step back and look at the entire profile, it looks too oblong to me, whereas the other one looks more properly golden ratioed square. What do you think about that?
No, I like the looks of the new one better. And like I said, it does appear to be more tapered. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they just made. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just made the bezel a millimeter thicker. That would be the funny part.
What do you mean thicker? As opposed to you mean if the broader, wider, bigger that way?
Exactly. Yes.
Width wise, okay.
Wider.
They would have had to make it bigger because everything's bigger, right? So everything's bigger.
I would be,
right?
Like I said, I'd love to get some I'd like for someone to get some calipers on both, and wonder if the only difference that they made was basically the bracelet being bigger and the bezel being like a little bit bigger and same size case, because they could totally do that one.
Right. Is the dial the same size? I don't know any of that stuff. I mean, it'd be interesting to see.
But even right here, since they're not lined up exactly on each other, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, they're not. But the case is supposed to be 1 millimeter bigger, and I'm sure they're measuring it from the same point to point when they're comparing that 40 to 41. Is that 41?
Usually when people measure the case, when they get the calipers, you stick the inside part on one end of the caliper, and then you stick the other on the other part of the caliper, because you don't measure the crown. So like I said, I wouldn't be, yeah.
And then that 40 and 41 is basically the width of the case from 9 to 3 o'clock minus the crown guards, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to even measure that because the crown guards and the crown's in your way.
Yep. And Captain Zed says he gets his original Kermit is worth $30,000 now.
Oh, the original Kermit's gone up, Zed.
Well, here's the sad part. You know what that means? There's going to be even more Kermit fuckery now.
Oh, man. Was it you that was telling me that all the fakes are already out? Somebody was telling me that.
No, it was not me.
Okay, it was Blue Shirt. Blue Shirt was telling me that all the fakes that people are seeing the fakes coming out right now. They're coming out. They're on top of it. So be careful. Boy, especially if you're going to pay over premium to get something in the aftermarket.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to be careful.
But I was going to say, but it's really easy for the original Kermits, because, as you know, the only difference between the dial is different, and the dial is slightly different, and the bezel is different color. But if you pull a original Kermit case, it doesn't have LB. LB is only on the paperwork.
Yeah, very important. Man, there are certain watches where the paperwork is just everything. That's one of them. Same with the Blue Dial GMT I was chasing. Paperwork was everything. Yeah, Zed, I would be just as more ecstatic about your FP Journe going up from 12 or whatever, 12 to 30 grand. Geez. It's awesome. So yeah, I mean, I don't like the crown guards being gone. I like that balance it gives.
Yeah.
So it's something you have to get used to.
Yeah. It's not as drastic as getting used to, say, I don't know, snowflake hands on a tutor.
I knew you were going to say that.
I know you were taunting. Yeah, I know you're goading me, so I just figured I'd just give you that one.
But you know, the thing is, man, is you gotta love it because they've done it to all the subs and sub dates. That's a lot of watches that this change has gone into. I mean, that's everything. Wow, they really put they put all their chips in on this one, you know. What does everybody else think? I mean, just looking at the left to the right, I know Clyve says he likes the new one. I'm a hard fan of liking the old one. The old one looks more blocky, more square. I like it. I like the old one. We're on the shrink. We haven't seen him come on any shows in a while.
No, he probably needs to be. He probably needs to be kicked off the Cardinal chat for non-participation.
His Zen 104 has increased by over $100.
Nice.
Hey, it's not the dollar amount that matters, it's percentage. So I'm sure that's probably significant. But
the Watch Lounge is basically, he decided to go into an AD today and see what they had, his local ID, and they've got basically a Sea Dweller. Looks like trying to figure out what kind it is.
Usually you guys don't have this, do you?
We originally don't have any kind of sports watches, all steel.
Wait a minute. It's a Sea Dweller, but it's not in red. No, it's got to be. Well, it's got to, but it should. I think it should say Deep Sea Sea Dweller.
you know what, while you're doing that, I'm gonna pull up the Rolex and see if the Sea Dweller, what the dial looks like.
Wouldn't it be funny if they did something like that during the middle of the announcements and everyone slipped by everyone? And of course, I do a live stream and everyone wants to email me.
You know, the cool thing about the Sea Dweller is that on the Sea Dweller they did everything right.
Do me send a link to run the shrink?
No, you know what? We got to cut it off here. I'm over by 4 minutes, and we're gonna go 4 more minutes. I'm already losing it. I can barely hang. So just a few more minutes, please.
All right.
Before I came on here, I was literally in tears. I had to shave from sitting down. I haven't shaved in 2 weeks. I had to shave, and I was shaving while I was crying from a chair. And that was my decision before I came on here. So fuck me dead, dude. Fuck me dead, bro. I'm fucked, bro. Fucked. Okay, so yeah, it's beefy, man. Look at the old one. It's beefy, man. It's beefy. It's a big old chunk of Rolex steel. I love the old one, guys, and I got 3 of them, man. I love it.
Well, that's good.
Thank God I didn't get rid of my my watch. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I almost gave that watch away for $9,000. Clivers, $9,000 and $9,500. Either one. I was going to give it away for one of the two.
Now, Watches and Giggles is asking if you use CBD. I think you use more than CBD, don't you?
Yeah, the CBD helps with inflammation. But Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's just bad. It's just bad. Can't even lay down in peace.
Ouch.
Don't anybody fuck with me, man. I just go unleash on your ass. Yeah, I kept it, fella. I did keep it. You know, I did keep it, man. And you know, if I could keep everything, bro, I would have kept the Daytona you got for me too. But God bless. I hope, you know, your girl wears it in good health, man. I'm glad she got it. I'm glad she got it, bro. Because I definitely need the cash to go into other watches. I'm just, you know, here we go. There's a new watch that there's a watch that my AD is getting for me apparently, but I don't know. You know, the Panda. There's a few things we've talked about, and he said quite honestly, it's going to be a surprise, man. He said, I don't know what I'm going to get you, but at this point, there's so many good things out there. You're going to get a good call from me. That's pretty much kind of how it went. So, I mean, I have a friend in Hong Kong who said his AD told him, please, you know, don't even really ask for a Panda anymore. It's impossible to get. His AD says we don't even think we're going to see one. They stopped taking any names for the queue, so-called wait list. And he also told him, his Hong Kong AD told him, they're not taking any wait list for any sports models now at all, because there's just the supply just isn't there. So
Well, nice. Oil Money Watches is saying, imagine he calls you about the new two-tone bluesy.
Two-tone bluesy. Oh.
You
know, we talked about the subs, and he knows I'm not a fan of them.
Well, maybe he'll get you an OP. That's what he's talking about. He'll get you a coral one. He'll get you a pink one. He'll get you a turquoise one. Maybe even a baby Hulk.
Well, my wife doesn't have a watch. She's never been into luxury watches, and I showed her this one, figuring she'd like it. I said, you know, that's the Tiffany dial. You're gonna love it. I'm pretty sure. As soon as she saw it, as long as it wasn't in 36, she was fine with it. She said, "Oh, 41, bigger than your sub." She said, "Absolutely, she'd love it. You know, as long as it's not too expensive." She said. So I said, "It's perfect." I could. It's like $6-7 grand. So, you know, she doesn't want it. When she gets it, she gets bored from it. I bet you I can sell it for more if I ever needed to. But I'd probably keep it. I don't know if I could wear that. Could a man wear that Tiffany dial blue? You know when I could wear that? You wear it when you're being softer, like when you're with your family, maybe going to church, maybe going to a family function. You're with your kids and your wife. What do you think?
Possibly, yes.
Possibly, yes. If not, I bet you that thing would be really hot, easy to get rid of.
Okay, I guess they're calling the Kermit, the new Kermit, the Cermit with a C, like ceramic Kermit. That's cute. That might have
was it Paul Thorpe who I seen him call it a Shrek? I kind of like that one better. I kind of like Shrek. I think I saw Thorpe using that one, so yeah, I like that one. I like Shrek.
All right. Well, are you going to end it, or are you feeling better?
No, let's go ahead and end it with that note. I'm going to just sit here and vape for a while. All right, guys. Nice chatting with you, Clivers. Oh, ouch. Okay, and that's our cue to go. Thank you for joining us. Adios, amigos. Good night.